in the other video I told you what our evening chores look like, and so today we're gonna do morning chores. In fact, most of the morning chores the kids actually do. And but there was one thing that I usually do first thing in the morning, and as I turn off the electrical fencing, let the turkeys and the guineas out, and my wife just called me. Bunnies are out. That's one of the things I told you yesterday that barely happens. Well, today it happened. So let's get to it. So I guess I missed when I moved the tractor yesterday. I missed this huge ditch here that they dug previously, and that's how they got out. So we have to fix that by just moving this tractor over a little bit. Well, actually, since we're here, I'm gonna move it forward a little bit. You guys, are you ready to move? I think now we are on solid ground. That makes morning chores longer than they usually take. Alright, now before we get those bunnies in, we're gonna release the turkeys. Alright, electric fence off. I know, I'm late today. Alright, and you? See, that's where he face plants every day when he comes down. You're way too heavy. Alright, now we can catch the bunnies. What are you doing out here? There you are. You're fortunately not a super scared one. Alright, number one. And you? Oh, you're the friendly one. Very good. Alright, so now we can walk ribeye, and then we'll show you what the kids do with the rest of the animals.
Don't you have to put a movement picture?
Alright, walking the ribman on our way back. Hopefully by then the kids are up and they can do morning chores. Isabella always likes to take her sweet time doing chores, which means it takes always a little longer for her. But what she does is she checks the water, make sure there's still water in there, not much algae. If so, we have to clean the bucket, make sure that the feed is down, because it's, you know, those rabbit pellet feeders, sometimes the feed gets stuck. And she makes sure it, you know, pushes it down a little bit and fills it back up. And then depending on the tractor and how heavy it is, she actually moves them herself, just, you know, a length to let the pasture recover. Ribeye always likes to sniff and then even eat some of that stuff that he finds, be it rabbit poop sometimes or pellets that drop down. And she does it with all the three tractors, make sure everyone is taken care of, and then she goes to the chickens and again gets easily distracted by cuddling with them and carrying around her favorite rooster. His name is Henry. He was one of the two that they incubated in their homeschooling group. So she has a special relationship to that rooster and is a really pretty one too. And then she feeds or fills up the feeders for the, that's meant to be for the turkeys and the guineas, but the chickens use it as well. And an extra trough. I mean, we have several feeders and several waterers around to make sure that everyone has easy access and the animals don't have to go a super long distance. And again, picks up her rooster and kisses him and exposes herself to all the good germs that make her immune system more robust. And then they cuddle with the turkeys. Those two turkeys are really, yeah, they were supposed to be dispatched for Thanksgiving last year, but we didn't. We kept a pair, and they're like pets now. So they follow us around. They're super docile. And then we fill up the CoopWorks feed silo. That's really our favorite feeder because it withstands all of the elements. It holds about 80 pounds of feed. So, you know, even if the other feeders ran out of feed or whatever, this one always has feed. So the animals always have access to feed. We also feed them some brewer's yeast, and we did that specifically for the turkeys because they need a higher protein intake than what is in a regular chicken feed. And so that's what we usually do. And then Lucas, he's responsible for 3 to 4 of our rabbit cages or hutches, depending on whatever is in use right now. As of the recording of this video, we still had some of the rabbits in the cage, that, you know, emergency pregnancy we talk about in another video. But usually it's only the 3 hutches, so he fills up the pellets, and those are also, the little ones are super friendly. And here, you know, I actually had to remove a wasp nest, a yellow jacket nest the other day. And so we had to remove all of the panels, and you kind of can see what's going on down there under the surface. But usually what Lucas does, he refills the pellet feeders, he checks on the hay, refills the hay if necessary. He gives them a handful of pumpkin seeds that can help with you know, intestinal parasites or prevent them from happening or from occurring. And then he also checks the water, and I always make sure that the, you know, the pellets come down here. And here are the pumpkin seeds. We feed them, you know, by hand a little bit, so the rabbits get used to our hand and don't run away. Even though this guy, this doe, she is still on the shyer side. You know, she takes like a bite and then runs off. She does the same thing every day. I don't know why she does that. But yeah, and then last stop is our cage. Actually, when you're watching this video, by the time the cages has already been vacated, because we moved them to a chicken tractor. That we have a separate video on that. But here we make sure the fans are working, so they get some extra airflow. They again have pellets, hay, and fresh water. All of that we do, and you can see here already those rabbits are outgrowing that cage, so they were really overdue to be moved. We just didn't have a rabbit tractor available, and until we realized we can actually use the chicken tractor. And those rabbits always like to be in the hay in there. They use it like a nest, sit in there and eat, and then unfortunately always sometimes poop in there. So that's why we'd rather not have them sit in the hay. But, you know, they're kids at the end of the day, so we let them do whatever they want to do. Last thing is check the water, make sure it's full, and nipple is working. Water is obviously very important for them, especially in the heat of summer. And that was it.